So Dre does his 6 years. He gets out. Kilo gets out. You eventually get out. And Dre jumps right back into the music thing.
Yep.
And actually blows up bigger than before. Mm-hmm. Starts the whole, Thiz, party,
He started dropping CDs. He dropped a couple with the Rompilation. Yeah, he and at this time it was still, when he first get out, it was still Romp Records. He teamed up with one of my other cuddies who just got out from a murder, Decon. He had went to jail. Decon went to jail at 15, get out at 25. Him and Dre hook up. They start Romp Records, and they take off with the Rompilation. That's when they first tap in with Messi and San Quinn and JT the Bigger Figure, the whole crew over there. And that's when the city and Vallejo really just started tapping in. They did the whole Rompilation. Well, I was still in the pen, so this is all the stuff they was doing while I was still gone under Romp Records. And then in '99, when Kilo came home, is when they started Thiz Entertainment.
Yeah. And he really started to build a real cult following.
Yeah, exactly. When Thiz Entertainment, when it became Thiz Entertainment, that's when the cult, well, actually the cult following was already, it started, as the kids young watching and following. But once Trill Television came out and they really got to see who Mac Dre was, like that was what let the world know. We already had the Bay Area, the Northern California, the Portland, the Seattle. They was already tapped in. Yeah. And this was through tapes and wasn't no internet movement. Dre missed the internet movement.
Right. So you guys are doing shows all over the place now. You guys doing shows in Hawaii, like you said, Portland, all over California.
Seattle, Denver, Phoenix, Vegas.
And you guys are also connected with Kansas City. You guys go and do a show in Kansas City. Well, you weren't there.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there. It was Dre.
It was a bunch Dre, Mac Mall, Doobie, Miami, Yuck Mouth, bunch of Bay Area rappers. It was a whole show. I hadn't been home from prison that long, so I couldn't go. I was still on federal probation, so I couldn't go. But they all went out to the show in Kansas City.
Now, did they actually do the show?
Yeah, the show. They did the show.
They did the show, and then I guess there was an after party.
Yeah, it was an after party.
Some sort of altercation happened.
Yeah, something happened.
Something happened at the
well, I'm gonna say, this is speculation. Something happened at the after party,
right?
But it wasn't nothing of. It was more of an argument with Dre and the promoter, right? Because the promoter wanted Dre to stay. And Dre, like, I did my job. Let me get my money. Let's leave. So They basically had that little.
After the after party, Dre's going back to his hotel. A car pulls up and shoots up the van that Dre's in. Dre gets killed.
Right.
Was the driver of the car also killed?
No. They say he crawled up out the van. Van flipped over. He crawled up out. He made it. He lived.
Okay. Huge tragedy.
Definitely.
At this point. And as soon as it happened, the streets start to talk. People started coming up with names of who was responsible for this. And a Kansas City rapper named Fat Tone.
One of the first names
was the one that people were pointing their fingers at.
Definitely.
And Fat Tone was like the local street dude, and he was known. He was, allegedly he had killed somebody. Allegedly he had robbed somebody. Bunch of different stories.
Allegedly,
a lot of allegedlys around him, and he liked that type of attention.
I really can't say.
Right.
Yeah, you know better than me.
Well, I interviewed his people.
Yeah. Okay.
I interviewed his friends and everything else like that. You know what I mean? So I could say it. A few months later, Fat Tone gets killed. Fat Tone, along with another guy, Cowboy, gets killed
in Las Vegas.
Right. Mac Minister gets convicted of the murder.
Right. Mac Minister and Jace Coleon.
Yeah. And I interviewed Mac Minister from prison.
Right.
He's doing quadruple life.
Yeah, they've got the same amount of time.
Oh, they both.
They both co-defendants. Mac Minister and Coley both got 4 life sentences. I just left Coleon in High Desert in Vegas. He was my cellie there recently. So yeah, they both got 4 life sentences.
Yeah. According to the investigators that I actually interviewed while doing American Gangster, they were all saying that Fat Tone wasn't the guy who did it.
He wasn't.
He wasn't.
Nah.
Can you say who did it? Who you think did
I
it?
don't. I mean, from what I understand, the street saying everybody that did it is gone. They all supposed to be dead.
They're all dead.
That's what I understand. You know.
Okay.
That's what I understand. It's been, you know, so much shit happened in Kansas City after that shit happened. You know, there's a lot of shit that wasn't publicly known.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I interviewed Tech Nine, I remember, and he said that he couldn't go back to the Bay for a while.
I wasn't able to go there for a while because at that time I was on the cover of Murder Dog with a gun like this, with red spiked hair, with Kansas City.
Yeah.
You know?
From everything I heard doing the documentary, I heard that Fat Tone really didn't have nothing to do with it.
He didn't. It's just people turning it into something. Yeah, Thizzle Van, I shot the Thizzle Man. I never heard that song, ever.
And I remember at one point I was DJing for Keek the Sneak, and we did a show in Kansas City, and we were all kind of worried. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like we had armed security and everything with us because it was like, yo.
But then again, like I say, I don't know.
Yeah.
These is just the rumors that you get. You know, people say this and people say that. Only thing I can say for sure is that I'm pretty sure if Fat Tone had nothing to do with it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if the streets is correct, then the streets took care of their business. I don't know. That's Kansas City. You know, I you know, one thing about it is the shit happened out there. So I would hope that Dre's people from Kansas City would handle it appropriately. That's it. So I got love for Kansas City. I stay going out there, so I'm comfortable with Kansas City for sure.